Hello, my name is Jillian. I am a fourth year OT student from St. Francis University, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the game Candyland. So, what exactly is Candyland? Well, Candyland is a board game that takes kids through the land of candy with the ultimate goal of reaching the end and finding King Candy at his castle. The board game is designed for anyone ages 3 and up. Once you have the game board set up with the pile of cards and the game pieces, the first person picks a card from the pile. Then, according to the number of blocks and the color of the block, the player moves their game piece the appropriate amount of spaces. You then repeat this with the other players until somebody reaches the end. There are some special cards that direct you to go to a specific space that is labeled with the exact same picture. Now that you know how to play the game, what skills does the game use that an occupational therapist or even a parent can work on with their child? Let's start with the sensory skills. In general, sensory processing, or how the brain processes input, the main skill used is responding to environmental cues. And this then plays into the other four main systems that are involved. First, with the visual system, or the vision, you have color recognition in order to see what space to move to, matching in matching the character cards to their spots, visual scanning or searching the board for the next space, and figure ground discrimination, being able to pick out the game piece from the colorful board of the game. From a tactile or touch perspective, you have fine motor coordination and in-hand manipulation when a child is picking a card or picking up and moving the game piece. Proprioception, or understanding position in space, a child needs to be able to understand the distance that they need to pick up and move the game piece from where they're seated. And vestibular, or balance, you have to be able to hold your head upright and be stable and secure in your position as you play. In terms of motor skills, I briefly mentioned fine motor, and that comes with picking up the cards and the pieces. For in-hand manipulation specifically, that would be when you move the piece around the board. Postural stability is being able to stay upright while playing the game, while crossing the midline comes into play when you're moving the piece around the game board, and the path you have to take curves around, back and forth across the whole board. As far as cognitive skills go, the two primary ones are memory and attention span. Memory is needed in order to be able to remember the rules of the game, remember how to play the game, and remembering whose turn it is in the series of players. And the attention span comes into play in terms of focusing on the game, as well as being able to recognize when it's your turn. And finally, we have social skills. A child needs to have self-control when they're playing the board game. They need to be able to respond appropriately to changes in the game, as well as changes in how they're doing. That directly plays into coping skills and emotional regulation. If the child suddenly falls behind in the game or another person moves ahead a lot, they need to be able to control their reaction to that change in their status, essentially. Social conduct is required in order to take turns appropriately, and you need interpersonal skills when you interact with the other players, either by helping them out, pointing out which space they need to go to next, or reminding them if it's their turn. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you learned a little bit about how Candyland, the board game, can be used as a tool to work with a child on a lot of different things, including sensory, motor, cognition, and social skills. Thank you.